Good morning, guys. Good morning. 9:30. The bell has rung, and we're ready to rock and roll. Give me a second. Let me, actually confirm to me that you guys are seeing the screen, seeing me. Everything sounds good, and we're going to let everybody come into the room. I'm going to show you exactly what I did. There's a new version of my scalping indicator called 2.10, 2.10. It's the 10th rewrite of it. It's the best one yet. It's the most elegant one yet. I'm going to explain to you exactly what it does. Good morning, everybody. All good. Cheryl, how are you? Somewhere in the Rockies. Hi, how you doing? I'm going to let everybody come into the room here. And, I see everybody here. I'm just testing. Let me just refresh my screen so I actually see how many people are in the room. Okay, cool. Cool. All right, everybody's coming into the room. I'm going to give you guys a few minutes to just settle down. Markets are, opening up and down. Excuse me. GDP data today, better than expected, but so was the price component of it. So I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what to make of it. Nvidia yesterday beat, but didn't beat the whisper number. So again, also don't know what to make of it. Markets sold off, but we came back up. We sort of tested, 19,200. Now came back up hard here. You see us really rallying on the open. This is a 1 minute candle that is going to be 50 points large. It's actually signaling a buy for us over here, but because the candle is so large, it's just completely vulnerable to a retrace. So I'm going to hold off on taking this trade. I'm going to explain to you the hold on, it totally would have worked. I'm going to explain to you exactly how this whole setup works. I think you guys are going to really, really like it. Let me make sure I have this correctly done. This should be, oops. I have a new, I have a new mouse that kind of goes crazy. So we're going to go 7 on this, right? Okay. So that's much easier for everybody to see. Okay. So everybody's coming into the room. I see everybody's just, floating in. We're going to talk a little bit about everything that I'm doing that I think really crystallizing and focusing on doing the charts. Before I start, I got to tell you a couple of things that are interesting. Oh, you know what I need to do? I guess I could do it here. Let me put this up here. Apex has got a new discount, which I just actually took advantage of myself. It's a $250,000 account. Oops, let me put it up here. By the way, I left you guys yesterday at 25.6, and I told you I was going to come back, and I did. We're at 25.9. I'm only about $500 from getting this account funded, so we'll see if we can get that done in the next few days. But here's the big account, which I started, which is $250,000 account. The great thing about this particular deal is it's just $50. It's usually like a $500 account. They're discounting it. You lock it down. The other thing I love about it is obviously you can trade larger. You can experiment because you have a much wider drawdown gap on here. And, if you get it funded, it's just an amazing amount of capital at your disposal once you get it done. So I really, really like this deal. They just offered it yesterday. If you get a chance, be sure to grab it and take advantage of it. Hang on, I know what I need to do. Just one sec. Bear with me, guys. I'm going to put this on. I might get a little bit of feedback because I'm actually putting myself into another screen so I can watch you guys from 2 screens. I love being back home where I have like literally 1,000 screens where I can watch you guys. There we go. Sorry about that. Okay. So now I can see your comments on the bottom here so you guys don't have to Hey, Ronald from the Bronx. Good to see you, my friend. Okay, hang on. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Just have to bring down my my tabs here. Okay, nice to see you guys. How do we get the new indicator? If you're a member of BK, it's posted in Ask Boris room right then and there for your trading pleasure right then and there. All right, so everybody's kind of settled into the room. Good to see you guys. Let's talk about the indicator and let's talk about what it's doing. Jesus, what a ramp on the open here, unbelievable. So we're gonna use NASDAQ as our proxy right now, and then we'll work on other instruments later. But NASDAQ is just a great proxy for what I wanted to show you. So the indicator, basically, as I said, we want to be trading on the correct side of the 8-period SMA, right? So prices are rising. We want to be buying on the upside of SMA. If prices are selling, we want to be selling. Now, there's much greater ideas here besides just buying and selling on the right side of the market, because the market switches around on a 1-minute chart all the time. The filter that you want to go through is, first and foremost, what's the strong side, right? What's the strong side? And obviously, we're up on the day. This is NASDAQ, this is S&P, this is Dow. Everybody is up. Everybody is green, right? So the first order of business that we want to establish is, what's the strong side? Once we establish that, we can then say, okay, I'm going to bias the buy side. So I'm really only going to look at buy signals only, right? And as I did that, what you see is only the green R's, the green retrace trades show up on the chart. Okay, so let me stop over here, make sure everybody's processed what I'm just basically saying. Step number one, what's the strong side? Right now, the buy side is the strong side. Step number two is, let's just only look at buy signals, right? If that's the strong side. So these are only the buy signals, the R signals. Now, step number three, and this is a really important step, is in classic trend following, I want the current buy signal to be higher than the prior buy signal. So the current R has got to be higher than the prior R, right? In this particular case, by the way, this R was just a little bit lower than the prior R. This is the market open. Market open is always going to create lots and lots of skews. But if you were just looking over here, for example, let's say you're just twiddling your thumbs post GDP data. This is a R. This is a lower R. Do you take this? No, you don't take this. Let me actually. Can I get this bigger? I'm trying to. Yeah. I'm just. Hang on a second. I gotta adjust my. I wonder if this. It looks so much better on my Mac than it does on the Windows machine. There's just really nothing you can do about Windows, the world's ugliest interface. Anyways, so you see this R is a little bit lower than R. I wouldn't take this R. This is the retrace trade. This one is a little higher. Nice trade. I'm long 76 for an 86 target. Boom. This one is higher. I'm long that. Done. This one is higher. I'm long that. Done. Then we have the market open, and now we have an R clearly higher than the prior R, right? And again, my apologies because for the arrows being squished a little like this, but that is how Windows paints their machines. So I have like 30 seconds left. So let's we're gonna trade the where are we at? My big account. We're gonna I want to get smaller here. I don't want to get so large. We're gonna just trade one size. We're gonna wait for this candle to hold all the way to the close. And we'll see, if this particular retrace, is a possibility that this thing could just fall apart on us. Absolutely, because as a matter of fact, it may not even hold the R. Look at this; it's not even holding the green. All right, let's just go buy market. I bought market here because it held the green for a second. My target would be 87. We'll see if it can just muster up a little bit of an 87 move. It had a big reversal here, so I'm not surprised if this particular trade is not good and it's not going to work itself out, which is normal. It's not going to work out, so it's fine. We're gonna just eat this trade here, unless I get a little bit lucky and we have a buy up. But this is obviously not the ideal R would be nice and slow, steady climb, higher R, you pick it up. That's where you get the big burst of retrace. This is already a huge rise. We had the first retrace over here, corrective move here that was far too corrective for my liking. Slope is very high, so not an ideal trade. But we took it I want to show you the whole idea here with me live trading is I want to take trades with you to show you the sample trades. Nobody cares about theory. Everybody cares about practice. we managed to survive the stop and got lucky. Great. We stayed true to the principle. It was a tricky trade because of the market open, but the principle, this is the key thing. Stick to the principle and you're going to just bank and bank and bank. The principle being that you want to trade, number one, trend. You want to be on the right side of trend. You want to be on the strong side of trend. The strong side of trend, obviously, right now is the long side of trend. And then the final component is to really, really give yourself as much confidence. You want to be on a higher R, the higher retrace candle. Now, what makes a retrace candle, and this is what I kind of the main theme of our live trading today with me is there's really only two types of trading. And I wonder, I'm going to just leave it to you guys in comments. I'm going to look at your comments here. Tell me, what types of trading are there? There's literally every single strategy in the world can be classified into one or the other strategy. Give me your answers down, in below. I'm actually curious to see if anybody knows what are the two types of trading you can do. Literally everything from the fastest algorithm to the biggest fundamental strategy can be codified into two types of trades. Anybody know? Let's go, guys. I want to see some chats over here. I'm not going to reveal it to you unless somebody participates here. So let's go. I'm going to have my green tea. This is the new me. Buy and sell is not the no. Swing and trend is wrong. Buy low, sell high is wrong. Trend, counter trend. Cheryl gets and Stephen gets the trend and reversal. They both get the winning prize. What should I do? Should I give you guys a what do we get? You get a puppy. All right. How about you get a puppy? I'm a huge dog lover. You get a puppy. Okay. So trend, counter trend. Now there's literally 1,000 versions of this with momentum, retrace, reversal, mean reversion. All of those things basically mean the same thing, right? So first and foremost, we trade trend, right? That's one type of strategy. So we're assuming that price will continue in the direction that we put our trade into, right? Just very, very basic assumption. I'm going to make an assumption that every time I make a trade, it's going to have a higher probability of continuing than reversing to my stop. That's literally all I'm doing, right? That's the underlying assumption of what I do. However, there is two possible ways to enter into a continuation trade, right? Which is what we're doing. Trend is continuation. One way we can enter into continuation trade is through momentum, right? And if you want to trade momentum, the indicator that I have for you, just simply unclick retrace signals and say, show me MA signals, moving average signals. And these become momentum signals, right? And when there is a lot of momentum, like at the market open, I mean, those signals are pretty good, right? Here's a momentum signal. This one does retrace a little bit, but I think you survived the stop. This one is just, soars away, right? Soars away. So momentum, very legitimate signal strategy. And if you want to trade momentum, you just simply can go into momentum mode on this indicator. And by the way, I'm just going to put another link. If you guys want to try this indicator, here's the link to our monthly discount offer. And if you want to try it on a really good discount with my coaching and everything else, which is going to start in September, right after Labor Day, you can lock down my coaching offer, which is really nice. So I'll put those links in there. And of course, as always, get the Apex account for $50. I'm trading the $250,000 account at $50 of trade. I'm already 1,000 up on this account, right? So getting, one of the good things, by the way, about trading larger size is you get to practice trading bigger. It helps when you're trading live. When you're going to go into the funded. If I get this funded, I'll be able to trade. I'll be trading the same way as I'm doing now, and then it's $1,000 a day on a funded. So really, if you think about this, it's a ridiculous offer. $50 for $250,000 is a really, really amazing offer. Go out there, lock it down for yourselves. Get like 3 or 4. That's what I'm gonna do. I took one down just to test myself out, but I'm definitely gonna get 3 or 4 because then we'll get into more advanced strategies of trading 2 accounts and all the other kind of stuff that we do here. So anyways, momentum, fine. You want to trade momentum? I think it's okay. But I believe, and this is just my own personal preference, so you are welcome to take my indicator and trade it on a momentum basis. I believe that it's much better to trade on a retrace basis. So if you go into retrace mode, the retrace mode basically says, hey, first there's a little bit of momentum, and then whenever the price, retraces and then resumes. So retrace effectively means retrace and resume, red to green. Every time you have a green candle here, and again, my apologies. I think I wonder if it'd be easier to show this on the S&P. Yeah, I think the S&P is a better, because at least, no, it still sucks. So this is the S&P. Let me see if I can give a little bit of clarity on these. So retrace candles, I want to go, let's say, to the long side, and I want to go, let's see, oh, no, again with my so let's go 3. I wonder if this is going to give me some breathing room. Okay, it's a little bit easy. You guys, now you can see it a little bit easier. So this is the S&P, a little bit of breathing room so you can see where the signals are. What's absolutely, amazing is you will inevitably catch a nice big trend slice, right? Like just a nice, beautiful, beautiful trend runner. This may happen between 10 and 11 today. It may happen between 11 and 12. It may happen at 1400 hours to 1500 hours. There will be a period of time in my, there is almost every single day where we have like a 100-point run, a 50-point run, or 25, 30-point run in the S&P, or a 100-point run in NASDAQ. And when that occurs, this particular signal is just money, right? When you get the nice trend slice, because you're coming in every time there's a resumption of trend. Buyer. There's literally, I think on the NASDAQ, as I was trading, there was like 6 continuous winning trades. Here, there probably is even more. Maybe even as much as, because if you're trading for 1 point on the S&P, well, let's look at it. I'm long here 09, 10. That's 1 trade. I'm long here 1075, 1175, 2 trades. This trade is 1150. I get stopped out. Fine, fair enough. This trade I am long. That's 3 to 1. This one is 4 to 1. This is 5 to 1. These are all pretty much the same trade because it's traveling higher. This is a trade 1925 to 2025. Was that 6 to 1? I already lost count. 7 to 1, 8 to 1, 9 to 1, 10. 9. Let's call this 9 to 1 all one trade. Although there's probably 2 trades here. Is that trade? What is that? 27.5. Yeah. It'd be 1. So 8 consecutive trades in a massive trend slice. You catch a trend slice like this, you don't have to do any more trading for the rest of the day. But the point being is, you get the idea of how clean and powerful retrace trades can be. And my basic argument here is, let's not force ourselves into more. How many contracts am I entering on a trade? So on a $25,000 account, I'm just trading, let's say, 1 micro contract. It's like a $20 trade. On a $250,000, it's a $200 trade. It's one normal contract. I'm trading small because I intend to do. If I'm losing, I want to maybe size up on the next trade when I find a better trade. It's just always better for me to trade small, but you don't have to restrain yourself to such a small amount. Generally, though, obviously, you don't want to trade a large contract as your opening trade position on a $25,000 account, because it's a $400 loss if you get stopped out. This way, it's only a $40 loss. Generally, if I have a $1,500 budget, which I do on a $25,000, I want to maintain my max loss at maybe 300, right? So it's only like 20% of drawdown if everything goes wrong. So it's definitely, I definitely want to keep my risk low. But then remember, I'm doing lots and lots of trades, and that's what keeps me in the game. You could also do it completely differently. You could just say, I'm going to be the Zen master. I'm going to focus on like 2 or 3 really prime opportunities for like 10 points in NASDAQ, 1 point in NASDAQ, and I'm just going to load up and I'm going to make $300-400 per trade. Boom, boom, boom. You are, you do that 2 or 3 days in a row, you're funded, you're good to go. It really depends on this. What's the split? Is it 80, 20, 70, 30? I think the first 25,000 is actually yours on all of this, I believe. I believe Apex doesn't even take any split on the first 25,000 of pay. Or no, I don't want to misspeak. I think it's the first 10,000 of payout. So, if you get to 10,000 of payout, ask the question then, because that's already a very, very nice payout. But I think the first 10,000 is to you. If I'm wrong, it's like 90-10 split, your way. So it's very, very, very attractive. So, the other aspect of why I like the retrace trade is that you see that when there isn't any retrace, right? Like, we have this move and it doesn't stabilize above the moving average. You're not in a trade. You're not doing anything stupid. You're not taking like, unnecessary risk by chasing. Every time, if there's huge momentum, chasing is a great strategy. But momentum fails a lot, many, many times, right? There's a lot more times the momentum is going to fail than it's going to succeed. So I'd rather trade the retrace because that's going to, avoid unnecessary chase trades that I'm going to be doing. But that's, the beautiful thing about the indicator is it can give you signals on both sides, on both of these trades. And obviously, ours is for the upside, and green R's are for the upside, red R's are for the downside, and the same thing with momentum. You basically, if you put the momentum signals, you can actually put them both on here if you wanted to. And here's here are the momentum signals. And just I don't like to do it because it just gets too crowded, and you can play around. Now, what's really cool is, aside from just sort of looking at this, hey, I want to trade to the strong side. I only want to trade green signals as long as we're red. Red as long as we're green on the market, green on the day. The other way of doing this is, you could play around with all sorts of turn trades if you wanted to. One idea that you could do with this indicator is, let me just take this off, just do retrace signals. Yeah, here's a good example. We're going to go to both sides. I'm going to show me both labels instead of just buy side. Show me both labels, right? So this is now we're in S&P. This is the S&P. So here's the cool thing I like about looking at this from both sides. When you go from green R to red R, that's a meaningful, interesting signal. That's telling you this, probably there's a trend reversal going on, right? And then what I like to do, this isn't a start of a signal for me. This is just a watch. Then what I want to do is, if I truly think that there's a change of trend reversal, I want to be looking for a lower R. I want, like, for example, the next R signal to be like somewhere around here. Because if it is indeed somewhere around here, we're making lower breaks lower, from the high. That's going to give me much more confidence that the sell trade is going to work, right? Remember, the sell trade is going against the general structure of where the market is at right now. So I kind of want to wait for these two things. But what's interesting now is we can literally see how the momentum on a 1 minute chart has shifted from buying, which was extreme, to now selling. Now, if we recapture the R's and the R turns green, great. Then we're back to positive strength. But the R being green over here, clearly below the R being green over there. So what I will do is I will wait for the next R, and if I get the second R, that's the one I'm going to trade. If I get the second R signal, that's the one I'm going to trade. So I'm always going to try and trade higher highs or lower lows to give myself as much of a chance as possible that there is directionality in that signal, right? I'm trying to extract as much signal from the noise as possible, right? From the indicator as possible. Steve is saying it's first 25K. Yeah, so he's right. I'm sorry, I'm not fully familiar with the funding rules, but I will find them out for you. Anyways, are you guys following what I'm basically trying to tell you? And you notice right now that there's nothing to do. One of the cool things is, how many times have we just been yanked up and down like a dog on a chain at the 9:30 to 10 o'clock hour? Look at the freaking moving average. It's as dead as a patient in a coma, right? There is no directionality. And if there's no directionality, there's literally no trading for us. Scalping, the kind of scalping we want to do, the very essence of it is directionality. So when we are in this mode, maybe a little bit over here, up, we're in good mode. When we're in this mode, we're just basically flat. We're just doing nothing, right? Now, maybe we start breaking to fresh highs. We establish directionality. That's great. Let's take a look at the, oops, sorry. You know what? Let's go back to S&P. Let me go to the other chart. This is the NASDAQ chart. Let's see how that's looking. Right, we're still looking. We're looking for R signals on NASDAQ. This one has. Oh, this is just the long side. I wonder if I could just fix this. Why is this so? Go to 15. Does it give me better adjustments? A little bit better. Okay. Wow. Jesus. Windows is such a tough thing. Okay, so this looks a lot better now. And the cool thing, you can adjust where the R's are underneath and below by just simply putting a value here, position arrows on the chart. So I made it easy for you to kind of adjust them to your liking and to your computer screen. Anyways, you're seeing R's. Obviously, we get another R over here on the NASDAQ. It's going to be a higher R. We definitely want to trade that. So we'll see if we get a signal here. But right now, NASDAQ actually is a much cleaner, better looking trade. Look at just, it doesn't have to be difficult or it doesn't have to be complex. You can see if there's a trend, it'll be reflected in the moving average, right? You just see if the moving average is sort of steadily climbing up, that's the place we want to be in as far as trading. If we're just looking like this on the S&P, it's a lot less interesting, right? It's a lot less interesting. I wonder how it's looking on the YM. YM is actually negative. So, that's interesting. So YM, look at YM. So this is a good example. So if we're going to go against YM, right, we want it to have a lower R. So in this particular case, this R was clearly lower than that one. That would have been a sell here at 89, 10 points, boom, easy money, over here. This would have been 24. And that would have I think made it over here too, another 10 points of selling. So that's interesting, as far as like we could have made money on the YM. I just haven't looked at the Dow all day long today because I wanted to explain. I wanted to explain the principles for you, because now that we have the indicator really working, it makes it a lot easier for us to coordinate the trades. ES popped. Yeah, ES popped, and that's kind of like a nice momentum trade, right? Which I don't take because I want to wait for the retrace. So like right now, watching ES right now, and let me make sure I have this correct. Let's go to the long side. We just want to look at the buy signals of the ES. So we would like to see an R signal in the ES, and here it is, and it's a good signal. And the same thing in NASDAQ. So let's just, for shits and giggles, this is the ES market, right? This is the ES market. So we have, we'll wait till the candle completes, and let's see if we can do. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one. This is the ES market. 37 seconds left on the ES. Let's see if this candle completes, stays green, stays true to our idea, and let's see what we can do with this particular trade. 22 seconds left. Got to hold the green. So if it gets really, really low, it's not going to be a trade for us. Around 5 seconds in, I'm going to go to buy bid. Do I get it? No. Damn it. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry. Ah, 10 o'clock. There was news. I should have just simply gone market. Clearly something, I forget what the news was. Everybody know what the news was? Let's go see. It must have been news. That's why we popped. Okay, we'll just, we'll wait for the next opportunity. That was kind of, it was sort of stupid of me to front the news, but you see that they gave us a really good signal. What was the news? Oh, pending home sales are like negative. Jesus Christ, that's what drove the market. Oh, because they are so convinced now that that the Fed is going to cut. Okay, so it wasn't even that big of news. I knew there wasn't such big news, but pending home sales came down. All right. Anyways, the R trade worked, as you can see. I should have gone market. I didn't. It was a really a vertical move. But it's more important for you guys to see these things in real time. We'll find more trades as the day progresses. We got another 20 minutes to hang out together. Pending home sales came in really weak, and I guess they feel that the Fed, because obviously the housing market needs lower rates, they feel that just puts more pressure on the Fed to cut rates. That's the way it goes. All right. So no signals over here. Actually, let's see what the story is on the Dow. The Dow also popped over here at the 10 o'clock hour. Let's watch the Dow. I'm actually curious. Dow's kind of like a very low volatility, shits and giggles type of a trade. Let's see what it can do for us. So the basic dance of the market is, the retrace resumption. Right now, we got a big pop over here. So we'll see if there's any resumption of, if the buyers are willing to come in over here. But if they are, that's going to give us a signal for a buy side. It's also going to give us a signal on the Dow. Maybe we'll trade the Dow just for fun. Let me adjust my settings on the Dow here. Oh no! Oh man, I have this new mouse, which just like every time I touch it, it's like, oh, there we go. There's the R's. 18 seconds on the Dow. Let's go look at the Dow. I haven't looked at the Dow at all lately. So here's YM. This is a green candle. We're gonna 5 seconds buy bid. Did I get this? No. Let's see if I can buy it. Let's see if it's going to come in. No. All right, I'm in. There's always, whenever I'm doing the retrace trades, when I'm doing the NASDAQ, I'm pretty much going to come in market. But when I'm doing the, see, nice, clean, there's like nice, clean $50 that, I could have been like more, but I'm just sort of trading one contract to give you the sample. And the Dow really traded nicely, whereas there was no signal in the NASDAQ. So this is a good, this is like this one mark checked off every. I wonder if I can do this. Let's see if this could be fun. Let me see if I can show this to you. Let me see if I get a check mark. Okay, can you put a check mark on it here? No, I guess I can't. So green, I can't put a check mark over here. That's check mark number one. Check mark number two is we want to, R, and check number three is that we got to have a higher R than the prior R. So if we get all these three things going on, that makes the trade attractive for us. We're in and out, boom, 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 ready to go. Okay, pretty simple, right? Super simple scalping strategy. Do this over and over and over again. The key thing is just wait for the setup. Wait for the setup. The good thing is the setup happens once every 5 to 10 minutes. So if you have an hour to two trade, especially, the active hour, we should have 3-4 trades per instrument, maybe even more so as as we go along. So I'm just sort of watching. Now, what's interesting is I'm kind of watching this. I didn't take the S&P trade. The S&P trade would have been a lot more problematic. So let's go to the S&P trade just to show you. Hang on a second. So S&P trade was, I wonder if I would have survived this. So this was, no, not quite, right? So this gave an R over here on this signal. So like S&P is actually giving us an R signal now. Maybe I would have survived this. What is this, 40, 50? It would have been tight. The problem with trading S&P is that two-point stop that I give myself is very, very tight, and it will retrace a lot. On the other hand, it's working now. Let's go to the S&P. There's 28 seconds left on the candle. Let's see if this candle holds green, although it's got to hold green. No, it's not going to do it. I would have traded this. But you see the S&P is, a little bit weaker. You wouldn't have had the full move here. What was it? Close 40.75. What was the high here? You would have made this 1 point if you were able to survive the stop, but it was a lot tougher. So we kind of died out the news. Now we're just going to consolidate. The great trades were like right in here on the meat of at the start and the meat of the curve, right? When you get to the tip of the curve, the top of the curve, you're obviously always going to be in danger of buying the top, selling the bottom, and you're always inevitably going to buy the top and sell the bottom. You will make errors on this strategy, of course. The point being is because you're doing 3-4 trades per hour per instrument, a couple of hours, do 8-9 trades. Even if you have 1 or 2 losers per instrument, you're still well ahead. Especially if you just simply stick to the strategy and only take the strong side trades, because you can always increase your size. If you're trading with small size, you can increase your size on the next one or the next one, and then catch up and actually get positive on the trade. But the most important part is just simply learn how to hit the stroke, how to make this trade happen, and then you can go from there. So we had 2 opportunities. We had actually probably 3 opportunities, but I haven't taken them. And remember, next week I am going to go to a 10 to 11 hour when we're going to have a lot. I'm calling it the money hour. That's going to be a lot juicier time for us, because typically that's when we get the trending conditions that occur, and it's going to make it a lot easier for us to be able to find longer term opportunities in the trade. So like right now I'm actually watching from my other screen. See if there's anything else going on. There's not much happening. We kind of died out without much going on over here. Oh, YM has I was just missing. YM had an R signal here. Sorry, I'm missing it. All right. All right, let's see if this works again. This is at the peak of this move, right? So already not great. Probably not going to work at this point, because it was just very much at the peak of this move. So kind of an exhaustive trade. And if it doesn't work, there'll be plenty of buy opportunities in the YM later on. You know what? I'm going to get out relatively at break even, because I don't really love this trade. Let me actually also do one thing here. I want to adjust this so you guys can actually see this stuff. Black, and the second threshold is going to be 40 seconds. Apply, save. This is still like in dark mode. And you see how the price action is kind of dying out. Sometimes if I feel like I'm buying the top, I'll just simply get out of the trade if I have a chance to get break even. Although this one may actually would have, we'll have to see. May actually survive. Nasdaq is turning around a little bit, showing a little bit of a corrective move. But to show you sort of like where we're at, we're nowhere near the ability to take the red R trades, because for us to take the red R trades, we need a lower R. See how this is a much higher R from the prior R? That's not the kind of trade I want. I want maybe another R to happen on a lower case basis. Then I will engage with Nasdaq. So let's actually see this. Let's see if Nasdaq corrects, and we can trade the corrective piece. So we traded the up slice, which was from 481 to 6, basically 200 point up slice. Wow, really, really nice big move up slice. Now, are we going to get a down slice? We'll have to see. I will, I'll be patient with this, with my approach here. Just watching everything else over here. Let me see what the YM is doing. Yeah, YM actually died out of the top, and it was good that I got out of it flat. So no harm, no foul. Remember, you don't, most of the time, the trend slices are going to be relatively contained. You're not going to get 200 point moves 5 times a day. So what you want to do in terms of scalping is to just position yourself at the best possible time of the day where that's feasible, and not get too greedy. Just take the trades as they come. So this is still, if you're looking at the R trade here, it's still maybe if this comes down, it'd be a lower R, but it would be hard pressed to say, oh, this is a lower R, I really want to short this. I like to see more selling off. I like to see this thing break below the 575 and then fail further to kind of give me confidence that this is a corrective move. Right now, it's basically just a profit-taking move. It's still very much a nice deep uptrend. It's super easy to apply very, very basic technical analysis principles with this indicator and see exactly the points of control and the points of play where you could make those trades. What does R stand for? Retrace. I'm just too lazy and too tired to say. This is a retrace trade, right? That's what I've been talking about as well. Andy says it's great to combine the 2 candles holding the 8 SMA as well as continuations. You mean like if 2 candles hold the 8 SMA, then you have a continuation signal? Yeah, I mean there's quite a lot. I thought about that on the momentum side. In all of these, there's always an element of weakness. So when you have the big momentum moves, so let me just sort of show you the momentum trade, right? So if I go to momentum trade, if we're going to go to momentum signals, right? Let's go to the buy side. So here's a momentum signal, two candle continuation. There's a continuation. Yes, there's continuation here. Yes, there's continuation here. There's actually, a good argument to be made. If you like trading continuation, you could do it. The key thing and probably, during this peak time, Andy, like the, 9:30, 10:30 max liquidity time, continuation signals are probably pretty good as plays, especially on the strong side. So obviously we're up to the market, so we're on the strong side of the market. These continuation signals, probably, if you took them, you did very well. There's no argument from me here. How would it have worked on the S&P? Oh, this is Dow. Sorry, I'm looking for the S&P. This fails over here. This succeeds. This succeeds, and this kind of fails. So you see that with S&P, which is a much less of a momentum instrument. Again, so this is an interesting thing. Momentum is very much a function of the instrument as well, right? So it's clearly momentum is built for NASDAQ, and I would say retrace trades are obviously very, very good for the S&P. So that's an interesting also takeaway, that not every instrument is viable for every strategy. All right, not much going on over here. Let me go to negative retrace. I'm going to stay in the retrace mode. Higher R's, no trade. We're recovering the moving average. Whenever we recover the moving average, it tells me that you want to go higher. So I'm going to shift my focus back to buying on NASDAQ. Let's see what it wants to do on that basis. Actually, let's have fun. Let's look at the momentum signals as well. Let's see if we get a momentum signal on NASDAQ. Come on, baby. Yeah, we're getting a momentum signal on NASDAQ. 34 seconds left. This is a kind of a fun trade. I don't know if it's going to work, but let's go have fun with it. I've been trading retraces with you the whole morning long, but we can easily do a momentum trade here on NASDAQ and see how well it plays out. And it's got to stay though. This is looks like it's dying out. Yeah, it's not happening. 10, 11 seconds. This is not a trade I would take. Even if this ends up green, I probably wouldn't take. Well, let's see. Would I take this? I don't love it. No trades. No trades. You see, it kind of fails. You really want to have if it closes, when you see the best momentum trades, by the way, the best momentum trades, right? What's interesting about them? Let's examine them. We'll take off the retrace trades off here for a second. What's the best, the ones that make the most money, they're usually closing within the top 25% of their, or certainly on the upper end of, certainly in the top 50th percentile of the candle body. It's got to be majority green, above it, majority green above it. That's what you want. If you get a minority green, if it's in the lower end of the 50 percentile and it's still green, that's probably not a great candidate for momentum. NASCRAC. Yes, I like that. NASCRAC, I never heard about that. That's cool. I like NASCRAC as a thing. Oh, and while I'm yapping away, I'm sorry, I'm not watching the YM, but the YM actually sent us another good signal here. If we traded retraces in the YM, there was a good retrace signal over here. We kind of paused over here. This would have been a good retrace signal. Sorry, I missed it. But like I said, there's 1,000 signals for us all the time here. NASDAQ is failing again. What's interesting is let's go look again for the reds, right? So this is where it's so much fun because you can switch around, and you could remember I said I want to see are we breaking the back of NASDAQ here? Do we kind of peak for the morning? Right, that's the big question. You see, the R's are still higher R's, but if we start setting lower R's, that's probably going to give us a move back down to 400, somewhere there, kind of a corrective move. Yeah, it's definitely choppy range. Holiday weekend. Tomorrow is going to be the last day. Obviously, Monday is Labor Day. Nobody, it's holiday for us. So people are clearly shaping up, but this is one of those kind of things. I've seen this 1,000 times where we have this dull, and then they start selling off into the close because they want to take profits ahead of the holiday weekend, and then that could be really, really interesting. It's conversely or similarly, let me show you the momentum signals. Okay, here's momentum signals. So let's say you're a momentum trader, right? Remember I said I want to see a lower momentum. So if you were, we're obviously green to the close. So I want to see lower M's. This is a lower M over here. You could have taken this momentum trade. This was a 598, and it went down to 88. You obviously would have made 10 points. There's another momentum trade. This was a continuation momentum trade that would have made you good money too. So if you like trading momentum, this indicator is great for you too. Matter of fact, what's really, really cool, what's really, really cool? Definitely I'm going to do this by next week. We're going to create another $250,000 account and trade momentum signals in that one, and then trade retrace signals in this one. And that will be like the battle of the strategies. That will be a lot of fun. And we'll see, especially in NASDAQ and the S&P, which one performs better. I mean, I can almost tell you that for sure momentum is going to perform better in NASDAQ. I don't need to do that experiment, but it'll be interesting to see this live as we trade, and we'll see which one is going to help us, fund the account faster. But I just got this idea that it's going to be really cool. Oh, we got a YM trade popping up. Oh, where's my YM? Really rocking. How much time do I have? Buy bid. I missed it. Sorry. I missed this trade. We had, so, I'm sorry, guys. I mean, I'm talking and showing you trades. So it's inevitable. Like we talked about this yesterday. I'm going to be missing trades because so many of them are popping up. But look at this. So if you were in retrace mode on YM, on the buy side, sorry, I had it on the buy side. Look at that. This was a nice, clean retrace. YM is just like S&P. It is the world's best retrace buyer or retrace seller. So this was a winner. All of these were winners. And honestly, when you're doing these trades in the YM and NASDAQ, just go market. I got to stop dicking around with it's just bad habits because, I was so careful on my other entries. But now this is either going to work or not work. If it goes market, it's definitely going to, like you bought this 28 and went to a 44. It would have been an easy trade for the win, right? Okay. Looky here. We got the ES to the downside. Let's go to the downside. Retrace trades. Huh? What's going on over here? Why is this? Do I have this set up badly? No, it's on the buy side. So both labels. Okay, sorry. How much time do I have? 21 seconds. Just kind of show you. So, look at this. Is this really a lower R? Not really, right? Should I take this trade? Probably not. Will I take this trade? Why not? Sell market, and I'm eating it. Look at that. Look how I'm just eat. Look how badly that trade works when I don't follow my rules. Just eating it right away, like pop right. I sold really into the bottom on that trade. Totally stupid. Really dumb. And if this wins, I'll be very lucky. Very lucky. I'm going to take this trade. Okay. I feel that it was just a dumbass trade. But you see you see me kind of go through the same thing as with you guys. Oh, maybe it's good enough. I'll take it. And it's not needed. It would have actually worked, right? So it would have worked, but it was unnecessary because the next R setup is going to be a better setup. It's going to be a cleaner, better setup for all of this. You did not need to force this trade like I did. How's the S&P? How's the NASDAQ? Oh, NASDAQ in the meantime, while I was putzing around with this, I actually had a real NASDAQ sell over here, a lower R that I could have done super easily. So sorry, missed the opportunity on that one, but that was a much cleaner, better trade. And maybe what I should be doing now is actually just sampling them beforehand, seeing which one is the stronger trade, stronger setup. We could have easily done that setup, that way. So that would have been a much better move. But you guys see the indicator is super good at showing you the opportunities, right? Showing you the clips, right? Everybody see that? Okay, I got 7 minutes left. Let's see if there's any more decent looking setups for us. See if S&P has a retrace trade or a momentum trade. So one other thing that I was going to say to you, I'm trying to run like 3 different instruments, and as you can see on a 1 minute chart, you're going to lose the more stuff you're looking at, the less focus you're going to have. As I'm looking at this, I was just realizing, here's there was another retrace trade in the Dow that could have worked. The best way to trade this, and the reason I don't do this with you guys because I want to show you lots of variety. But in real life, when I trade this, I just choose one. I usually trade NASDAQ, but sometimes I'll just do the S&P as well. And I'll just focus on one and take every possible trade. Remember, there's like a trade every 5 minutes. So there's possibly like 10 trades within an instrument in an hour. It's more than enough to give you focus on, on having it work, right? And that creates, real interesting opportunities for you. Right now, I missed all these trades. I was thinking of doing this momentum trade, but this momentum trade is not higher highs, so not ideal. You could have actually, if you bought this 40, it would have given you that 1 point run on a pure momentum move, but not ideal. So I didn't want to do it. And if you do it on a retrace basis, you're sort of same kind of a thing. All right, this is a relatively clean retrace trade in S&P. 45 seconds left. Let's see what we can do with it. Got to hold, obviously, but let's give it a shot. I set stops. People are saying to me, "Where I set stops?" All the stops are preset for me in Tradeovate. This allows you to see this as a 4-8. It's a 4 target A stop, so we can do this. Okay, buy market. All right, I'm in trade. What's my target? It's 43.50. Let's see if I can get up there. 43.50 on the S&P. Where's my S&P? Oh, it's right there. I'm right there. And there we go. Boom. All right. Thank you, guys. I have accomplished my mission of making sure that the last trade was a positive one to make you guys, leave you with a good feeling. Let's review everything. Okay. You want to sign up? Just hit this link button. This is the biggest discount. It's just 1 month. You're going to get the indicator and everything else. You want my coaching? Just simply hit this link. Absolutely get the Apex $50 for $250,000 account, which is what I'm trading right now, which I'm running up to now over 1,000 for the day. I may trade this for the rest of the day. I have to see. I'm trying to figure out. I think I might actually try and trade this account to try to get this one to funding, and then next week we'll come back and we'll trade the $250,000, and I'm going to trade the other one. Remember I talked about the idea. Hey, let's do momentum and retrace trades. So we'll trade 2 accounts 2 ways to kind of show you how the strategies work in real time. But I hope you guys really love the fact that we trade this in real time. No hiding away from the markets, and you see how the trades work over and over and over again. And last thing I want to show you is Gelber Group, which is our sponsor. They're if you're doing prop trading and want to consider maybe an actual career in prop trading, these are the guys that you want to take a look at. They're running a really good contest as part of that whole idea. We are at session highs right now, so we're starting to break out. I can't tell you again how, I can say this 1,000 times and I'll say it 10,000 times, and hopefully because this is how long it took me to kind of accept the idea that trading to the strong side is the way to go, right? What's the strong side today? Was the long side. Every trade we did on the long side was essentially a winner, right? Boom, boom, boom. I think we had 4 or 5 trades. I had 4 or 5 trades. I could have had about 10 of them. I missed a few of them, but every one of them was a winner, right? We hit all of them properly. So hope you guys really, really enjoyed that. I'm going to see you guys next week. We're going to have 2 accounts, be ready to trade with you guys. Let me know if you need anything else. Everybody who's got my indicator, get the new updates because you can see how well it helps you to find the spots in the market. Otherwise, I'll see everybody later. Thank you so much, guys. Everybody enjoy. We will see you next week. Enjoy the long holiday weekend if you're in the U.S.